Hey everybody, I'm here today with Dean of Admission and Financial Aid, Kila McCann, and we're going to talk a little bit about the admission season we just went through, as well as some of the trends that she thinks are going to face us in the upcoming year. So welcome.
Thank you.
How was this past year? I know it was busy.
It was busy. We saw about a 20% increase in our inquiry and applicant pool, which resulted in us opening the school year at one of our highest enrollments since 2006, which was at about 1751 as of today. So very exciting.
It is.
We also saw weight pools across the board, which I think was probably the first time that we've seen weight pools in quite some time, and new to probably the folks who have been applying to bowls and are aware of bowls. But I think it's a good place for us to be as a school.
Sure. So what do you mean by weight pool?
So weight pool is essentially folks who are qualified to be at the school, but perhaps didn't apply before the deadline. This year the deadline's January 27th. Very important. We were waiting on certain aspects of the application to then make decisions, or we had filled that class.
Sure.
And consequently they were on a weight pool. The weight pool is not a wait list, so there's no number or sequence to it. You're just in the pool of candidates that we could go to should a space become available.
Great. And do we access the weight
We
set
do.
weight pool?
We
Wonderful.
do. We went to the weight pool, I believe, for a few of our middle school grades and definitely for the upper school.
Wonderful. And so what do you foresee? Pull out your crystal ball. What do you foresee in the year ahead, other than stressing you got to make the deadline?
Yeah. I think it will be increasingly more competitive in the coming year. I think that we are now looking at building classes. And so we're looking at where our enrollment needs from pre-K through 12, and then actually strategizing on building those classes moving forward, which is a new place for us to be in. So together with the campus heads and myself and other members of the admission committee, we'll really be strategizing in the year ahead.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you mentioned financial aid. I mean, that is something that I think some people aren't aware of. You know, Bowles gets out well over $5 million in financial aid.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of resources there. One of the things that's really important to you, and I know your team, is accessibility. Mm-hmm. You know, we want this to be a place where everybody feels comfortable applying and having this opportunity should it be offered.
It's very important, I think, that the price tag not be the inhibitor to attend bowls. We have a healthy financial aid budget, and right now we're awarding to 298 students. I can foresee that number increasing a little bit. I think we still have some wiggle room there. But the biggest thing I think that happens on our end is that sometimes people don't apply to bowls because they don't believe they can afford it. And my goal moving forward is to take that barrier out of it if we can. The other part that I think we don't think about enough is what happens once a student is here. So if we have students who are on significant need, how do we make the textbooks affordable, or the laptop, or those sorts of things? So we're working hard on that accessibility fund to be able to offset some of those ancillary charges as well.
Sure. So now that we're talking about, the upcoming year and the importance of meeting the deadline, what's the most important first step that a family could take if they're interested in bowls?
Yep. Inquire. Whether you inquire through the website or you drive on campus, we want you to come and learn about bowls. We want you to make contact with us, and let's just talk about the possibility for your child. There's no Oz behind the curtain, as I like to say, and so it doesn't hurt to find out more and be curious. And at the very least, you come for a tour and you spend a day and find out if it feels good in the places you should listen to in the pit of your stomach.
Yeah, and you mentioned tours. We do run a number of tours on all of our campuses throughout the admission season, but also if those are not convenient, reach out to us and let us know. We'll work with you. We love this place and we love talking about it. We love sharing the experiences that we've had, our own kids have had here. It is a special community, and we're just excited to have people interested in joining us.
Absolutely. We're working hard right now to cultivate interest, and so my team will be busy hosting Explore Bowls events from now until that January 27th deadline. We're also traveling, so we'll be in the United States. We'll be doing a junior boarding school circuit. We'll be going to admission fairs in Lexington and in Alabama and throughout the United States, but we'll also be going abroad to places like Mexico, Germany, Sweden, Denmark. So just watch social media because it will be out there, and we'd love to meet with you or anybody that you might know in those areas. But yes, the biggest thing is to get on this campus and feel it, and if it feels right, then it's a right fit.
Yeah. And you mentioned traveling abroad. Can you give us a little breakdown this year, opening up with 1,751 students? How are we represented country-wise, state-wise?
So this year we were very pleased to open with 59 countries, 29 states, and we speak over 36 languages. And
we do not.
We don't.
Collective goals.
I wish we
yes.
did. Yeah,
that
but
would be
collective.
amazing.
And I think that that's really important. I think that that's the education outside of the classroom that we probably don't talk enough about.
Sure.
There's real value in a student a student from the United States sitting in class with a student from China talking about politics or other aspects or history, and so or living together. There's real value in that as the world gets smaller and smaller.
Right, and that is something that in Jacksonville you can only get at Bowles.
Absolutely.
And I know all you future parents or current parents out there, having your son or daughter prepared to interact with people globally as they're working on projects, work projects, school projects in college, it is essential. And so doing that here is only going to help them be more successful there.
Absolutely. I think that's, not in the view book always. And so there's that education outside of the classroom when you're learning about eating something from someone else's country that you maybe had never experienced, or maybe you end up on spring break at that person's house because you live with them in the dorm. I have seen many of those lines crossed, those healthy lines crossed, and that education outside of the classroom that happens just by being with one another in class or on the sports field.
Yeah, those friendships that develop are priceless and they're lifelong.
They are, yep.
Well, great. Well, I really appreciate your time.
Thank
I appreciate all that your team does. I know that you're getting a very, very short breather before we go into this next admission season, but it's an exciting time at Bowles, and we just welcome anybody who's interested in coming and learning more about the school. Hope that you can be part of us. Come by, see us for a game. Come by, stop by, see any one of our 4 campuses. But it's a special place.
Yep.
So
come see us. We'd love to meet you.
Anyway, thanks again, and thanks to everybody out there for all that you do.